Hello everyone, and welcome back to the modern tournament
no.
here at Grey Ogre Games.
Caught me saying that.
This caught you whispering balls to the walls. It's round two.
Walls to the ball, man.
Walls to the balls.
Yeah, walls to the
Balls
ball.
to-
In this day and
balls
age
to
of
that
like-
wall, man.
Yeah,
I do not like that wall.
Okay, so we have John Paul Santorio, or JP, as
JP.
he likes to be called,
Yeah.
versus Ryan Aguila.
Yep.
Two of our Pinoy friends, or as they like to be called in Tagalog, Chambaleros.
Chambaleros.
Chambaleros, which means like lucky scrubs or something like that, right?
Lucky scrubs.
Yeah.
Top
So
deckers.
two Chambaleros and a bug, apparently. That's
Oh,
joining me
okay.
on my hand.
Both.
So I think Ryan is on some kind of Snapcaster deck. Looks like Grixis. Yeah,
Right,
but this is Grixis with one land, so not great unless the last card in his hand is
Doesn't
Serum Visions. He's gonna
matter.
go for Mulligan.
JP is on Living
Living
End,
End.
yeah.
So this should be interesting. Remand versus Living End.
Yeah,
Or-
If Ryan does know what JP is running, I think keeping that remand in hand is going to be very
Yeah.
useful.
But if this is Grixis control, then Ryan's gonna be in for a tough time because he's not gonna have as many counter spells as JP has. Cascade enablers.
Right,
And
right.
Ryan and JP's gonna go after his lands. He's gonna go after his.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know it,
You know it.
man.
You know it. So, yeah. JP happy with his hand. I think there are very few hands that you keep. You mulligan as a Living End player. One of them, they usually involve some amount of copies of Living End.
X number of copies, which is
X
basically
number,
even if you got one copy, would you be fine if you had one copy of
You'd be
Living
fine
End
if
in
the
hand?
rest of your hand was
Like all
functional,
cycles,
three mana or 2 mana and a bunch of cycles.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan keeping and choosing to scry to the top.
Man, that's actually a pretty good hand, I think.
He's thinking about leading with Creeping Tarpit. I presume he has a mana leak in his hand, so he's not in too much of a hurry to cast that Serum Visions. Double Black Cube Clips for JP means that he's gonna be able to threaten a Cascade trigger next turn.
Right, yeah.
JP thinking about what lands to lay. Yeah, he does have a Serum Visions.
Does JP have a third land?
Oh, he's gonna Serum Visions this turn.
Okay.
Interesting. Without fetching the land, meaning that if he does have to crack his land for action, he is
He will
gonna have
just
to
take away
shuffle
those
away
two,
the cards that he Serum Visioned. So painfully Serum Visioned.
I know. No, but he can. I think he can. It's fine.
His hand looks to be Mana Leak, Serum Visions, Cryptic Command.
Lots of blue cards though. Lots of counter spells. JP here deciding not to. Wow, triple red black source from
Yeah,
JP and just casting
which means
his
Fulminator is gonna be able
Fulminator,
to. Yeah. And Ryan. So this is why I like cracking your fetches before
your Serum Visions.
Serum Visions, because then you can ensure that what you do want to draw is on top of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
But this could also be some kind of like a fake play from Ryan, so as to make sure that JP goes after his Creeping Tarpit this turn. But it's
Right.
quite hard to put JP in exactly Fulminator mage, so I think I would have preferred possibly even leaving mana up. Like I think he has a mana leak.
Yeah, if he did have the mana leak, I think he's just like he's gonna be kicking himself right now.
He does have the mana leak, and he does have he
damn.
has a basic island, so I think that's pretty good this turn.
Yeah,
It's gonna
just
go
leave
pretty
it,
well with
just
the mana
pass
leak in
the
his
turn.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
And
Unfortunately, he doesn't have the third color yet.
He does. He has a Scowling Town in his hand.
Okay, cool. What's the? Okay. Yeah. Being distracted by I don't know. It seems to be quite funny.
Cycling Twisted
It's,
Abomination.
I don't see Jin Hao laugh that much.
Hey, everyone. Twisted
Yo.
Abomination. Which sets was it printed in?
Oh man, that's old. That is old. Yeah. Let's see. I know it's definitely in Modern Masters. It was in Conspiracy as well, I
Eternal
believe.
Masters, right?
Twisted Abomination.
Enemy. Okay.
Arch Enemy.
Sets and
Okay.
Legality. Let's go to Sets and Legality. Oh, it was in Time Spiral. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Because other than Time Spiral, it's not in any actual legal sets.
That's true. Yeah,
because it's in
because it was in conspiracy.
Scourge,
It was
Arc
in
Enemy, Plane Chase, Conspiracy,
dual decks, like multiple dual decks.
Eternal Masters, and Graveborn. So apart from Time Spiral, which I blanked on for a moment, I thought we were a little bit worried about the legality of that card. Partly because people play other Swarm Cyclers.
But it's fantastic. Like you do get the swamp out of it. Yeah.
Let's get a Swarm. So that's all he spent his turn doing. You see, he has a single Living End in his hand, and another Fulminator Mage. But JP choosing not to play the Fulminator Mage into Mana Leak.
Yeah.
Draws Monstrous Carabid for his. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Monstrous.
I think it's Cabited. Carbited. Yeah, thinking about what to play this turn. Gonna instead go with the Suspend Living End.
Carabid, yeah. Monstrous Carabid. Okay, so he's going to... Wow, this is such a strange way.
This is interesting on his part. I think he has a fetch in his hand, so...
Yeah.
Oh, no. His hand is Monstrous Carabid, Fairy Macabre, Fulminator Mage.
Well, he can cycle those cards in the meantime, like while the
I think
Living End is
this is
ticking
a decent play against Ryan, actually, because he gets to play around Mana Leak because he casts the Living End in his upkeep. So the only card he's really worried about is Remand.
Which Ryan might actually not be playing since he's playing the Grixis control deck.
Yeah, if he's playing Grixis control, there's less possibility of Remands, although he's going to be able to tap into Cryptic Command mana.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is very true.
So we could see Ryan playing a series of like Mana Leak on your spell, Snapcaster Mana Leak, Cryptic Command, countering your spell, bounce by Snapcaster, Cryptic Command.
Wow.
Which, happens quite a bit. Yeah, see he's drawing he's drawn Summon Spirit Guide for his turn.
Okay.
Not the best.
Not the best, yeah. Well,
but he's gonna go for the Fulminator here.
And I think it will just be countered by the Mana Leak that's
it's quite an easy Mana Leak on his part. It's just whether or not Ryan wants to be more mana efficient by playing Cryptic Command. But I think Cryptic Command, because
you
it's
save
a
it
hard
for
counter,
the for the
you definitely
Living End.
save it for the Living Man that's gonna come off the top, come off Suspend.
Yeah.
I like JP cycling the Carabid here. If I'm him, I cycle it, see if I can lay a fifth land.
Right, yeah. Before
a fifth land and a Summon Spirit Guide in your hand means that you can threaten 2-3 mana things on your turn. And also lets you play Cascade Spell into paying for Mana Leak, which you must imagine your opponent has some amount of Snapcasters that he's gonna be able to replay the Mana Leak with.
Yeah.
So yeah, JP missing a little bit of a beat. I think sometimes, more often than not, you kind of tempted to cycle end of your opponent's turn, keep your options open.
I know, yeah, but
this will save him eventually 2 life.
Will that?
If he draws a shock land, and it will save him a whole turn if he draws a Black Cleave Cliffs.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. So we see that Ryan does in fact have the Snapcaster to go with the Mana Leak in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ryan is probably going to look to set up something like Living End, Cryptic Command, Living End, and then Mana Leak.
Wow, interesting. Choosing not to cycle his...
Choosing not to cycle the Monstrous Carabid. I think he might think about casting it. I think that's a very decent proposition game 2 or game 3 when you think your opponent's probably sided out some amount of Terminate and Dreadball, but in game 1 it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he missed the Suspend, but he's going to be able to... correct that.
He's asking for
come on, guys.
Judge call. Yeah. Junhao is on it. He did miss the trigger.
It's compulsory.
It is a compulsory. It's not a may. It is a however, it is a miss trigger. So, in comparative, what will happen is that your opponent gets to choose whether to put the trigger on the stack. Whether to resolve the trigger or not, and more often than not, obviously they will.
Hey,
Andrea. Yeah.
What's up?
More often than not, they will obviously not put it on the stack. But since we are
really interesting,
yeah.
Is it a trigger? It is a trigger.
It's a miss trigger, yeah. At the end of the day, it's a miss trigger, forgotten trigger, in fact. So.
Sure.
His
so
opponent.
missing out on that. It could actually be to his benefit. Maybe he wants a couple more turns to set up his Living End.
Hey, what are you trying to imply?
So he just draw the 5th land.
And
gonna
he's able
cast
to
the
cast
Monstrous Carapace, which I really don't
that
recommend.
is weird.
I really don't
But that's
recommend
cool.
this.
That's cool, man.
Because if anything, I think you go for... Wow.
You try to go for the combo kill, right? With
You definitely go for the combo kill. It's just a matter of how you want to go about doing it. I think I would have been more inclined to go for... Wait for a turn where my living end is going to resolve, so he has to cast a counter spell. And then go for another cascade spell. And then he has to cast a counter spell. And then go for your Simian Spirit Guide into a second cascade spell.
Right.
You can preface that by going Beast Within on one of his untapped lands to choke him on mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, at regular RER, I think I would have given the trigger to the opponent because I don't know what the judge legality of this.
No,
idea
usually
is, but
that's the thing. Like a competitive, usually your opponent will just say like
this
you're supposed to let
not
your opponent know.
competitive though. This is
Yeah,
like
exactly,
regular
this is-
RER.
Who
So
cares?
this
It's for
is-
fun, right? Yeah, exactly. So my, what
Yeah.
I would do is just rewind.
An
rewind the
intention,
turn,
and there's no harm was done. Like he
Mhm.
just drew his card for his turn. It didn't
Yeah.
change anything. But Ryan nice enough to remind JP that he needs to take this thing down.
Yeah.
So yeah, as JP here, given that you committed this plan, I think you do attack. I think you're gonna draw. You might not draw a terminate right away. I think Ryan can take a hit first, but he chooses to go for it.
Wow, but why would he terminate right now? Because he knows
Because
that
now
the
his defenses are down, so he's gonna be able to. He knows that he doesn't have to worry about a. Magic is not fun. He knows he doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to worry about JP playing a
the living end, right?
cascade spell, because if that's the case, then he's gonna have living end next turn.
Oh, okay, right.
Which is not too bad, all things considered, because if you living end and you get 2 fulminator mages out of the exchange, I think you're okay. Because second living end resolving, putting another 2 fulminators back into play will mean that your opponent is down to 1 land.
Okay, so here's the
So
thing,
he's
like
so he's
cryptic
waiting for
command.
the actual turn, and if
But what
Ryan is worried about 2 spells, he can bounce in the upkeep, can bounce Blackleaf Cliffs to make sure that JP doesn't have an immediate 6 land to play 2 cascade spells.
Man, that's why I would.
But now with only 2 mana open, and JP is probably, he has to run out the cascade spell here.
Does he have a cascade spell?
He does. He has a demonic dread.
Alright,
in his
yeah,
hand.
you
He
just
does have
you
a
just
demonic dread in his hand. The demonic dread does not work around any creatures in play.
while creatures are not in play. Oh, is that why he cast the
This is
the
not.
4/4?
He should have beast within his at the end of his opponent's turn. He should have beast within his opponent's land.
Right,
But instead, he's gonna have to cast
the Simian Spirit Guide,
Simian Spirit Guide
which is
now.
gonna be really awkward.
And Ryan seems to be fetching a response, so I can't imagine he wants to counter this Simian Spirit Guide.
He might though, because there's a demonic dread. I play a lot of decks. Yeah, I play Zoo and I have fun. I know.
He plays a low of decks. So
Hey, he
like
plays
you.
my type of decks. All right.
JP actually passing with Simian Spirit Guide as his only play.
Wow, he doesn't
I really
cast
don't
the
like. I don't like not playing the Beast Within, and then now I don't like playing
not playing the demonic dread.
Well, no, I like playing not playing the Demonic Dread. I think he can put his opponent on Snapcaster. I think if JP wants to play this right, he can actually put his opponent on Snapcaster and pass so that his opponent thinks he has Snapcaster Cryptic, and he goes to Snapcaster, and then JP can finally play the Fairy Macabre from his hand.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's
so he
a
has the
good
Fairy
point.
Macabre that's in his hand. He's gonna go for the Beast Within now.
Okay, so Beast Within.
Going
one of
after
these
his own land.
Why
Actually,
his own
if I'm
land?
JP, I go after my Bloodstained Mire.
Which one? Oh, the fetch land.
The fetch land.
Yeah. Because that's not going to do you any good, man.
Not going to do you any good. And I don't think he has too many fetchable sources now that he has a swamp, a forest, and 2 shocklands, 2 shocklands in play. But I think Ryan thinking about responding to this.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, gonna play Kolaghan's Command in response to the. This game is not playing out the way that you think this matchup should usually play out. Because Kolaghan's Command commonly isn't a card that you use to discard cards. It's a card that you choose not to use that mode in this matchup. You choose to usually raise that and do 2 damage. But yeah, putting a 3/3 into play. discarding Leda and the Void. So maybe he didn't have Fairy Macabre in his hand, and hence the Cryptic Command Snapcaster, the anti-Snapcaster play wasn't the best. JP gonna presumably look for the one Stomping Ground that's in his deck, maybe. Yep. And go back up to 6 mana. So he's gonna be able to play around Snapcaster Mana Leak or another Mana Leak on his part. Yeah, I think the stream might be suffering as a result. So we should we definitely have Mick checking that out for us. Yep. JP gonna attack with the we don't know their life totals.
Oh, good point. I didn't give them the life totals.
Yeah, but
Right.
the attack's not gonna be too successful without a with his opponent having so many main deck removal spells still. Yeah. So JP, considering his options, I think at some point you have to play into the counter magic. But without access to the Fairy Macabre like we suggested, it's gonna be a bit tough for JP. So yeah. Yep. Mick quickly correcting this problem. Yeah, JP gonna draw for his turn. He has Black Cleave Cliffs in his hand.
Strangely enough, slew of technical problems, which actually downed the stream. This is bad.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
we had to
okay.
restart the modem.
The modem.
But never mind. We
wow.
have it. We have it on
Okay, it's
record.
back
Which
up.
yeah,
It's back up, so we're gonna be able to stream.
let's try to stream. Yep.
So we're back. Welcome back. There was a temporary blackout due to technical difficulties.
Yeah.
You know how it happens.
When your life shit happens, right?
Yeah, and yeah, Simeon Spirit Guide joining the board once again.
Froggen. Yes.
Froggen.
Froggen. We got Froggen.
We got Frogged. Yeah, Simeon Spirit Guide once again. I don't think this is how JP envisions himself winning this game. But with his opponent tapping out to play Goblin Dark Dwellers, I think he's gonna find his opening to resolve his his
Stream
cascade
came out.
spell.
Stream came out of suspend. Yeah, we removed the last counter.
Someone forgot to remove the counter before.
Yeah. No, that's why. No,
Yeah.
we removed the counter from the stream and then we put a live counter onto the battlefield.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't
for
notice.
the 26 of you who are watching, thank you. Thanks for your support. We are about to see, I think, JP resolve his first living end of the game. Because his
Alright.
opponent is tapped down to 3, and his opponent has no meaningful way of interacting, barring a remand, I think, at this point.
Why did the Goblin Dark Dwellers come down?
Because he wanted to get the value of casting.
Okay, I see.
But now that's going to enable Demonic Dread. So a bit of a misstep on Ryan's part.
Yeah.
I think he could have played this deck like a flash deck, or at least pressured with Creeping
the-
Tarpit, as opposed to...
Did he have the Creeping Tarpit? Or he got
I think he
he
had
got rid of the first one
topic was
killed off, yeah.
So he's discarding Shadow of Doubt, which is yeah, as Ryan, I'm not sure I like this play. I
Really?
don't think you need
Okay.
to play the
Hashtag blame Mick. Yeah.
What's Olo?
YOLO.
But
I don't know.
That's face Capolo.
Oh, it's
So that's
Kappa,
Kappa and Olo.
Olo.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So he's gonna play Living End. He's gonna put a crazy amount of creatures back into play.
Wow.
And I think barring a Damnation or a Kalitas from Ryan, this game is gonna go to game 2.
Well, that's not how you spell
And,
Khan. Anyway.
I don't like. Yeah, I guess maybe it's okay. Maybe would you have used the Fulminators to go for some mana?
I know.
on Ryan's
I don't
part?
think
Yep.
I don't think
It's
it's
a scoop
necessary
anyway.
because
you can keep him off 2 black to cast Damnation, which could be an out. Yeah,
Wow,
I
but-
agree, Andrea. He should have just won with Snap, Bolt, Snap, and just tempo you down while chipping away with Creeping Tarpit.
Yeah. Well, the Creeping Tarpit got was
got a bit-
disposed. Well, the first one got disposed
Yeah,
by.
the second one came down.
The
so
second one was there. They see me
Yeah,
bolting.
actually, the spell not gonna be that great because like we covered in our first round of last week. Despite the spells, the cascade spells themselves sometimes being instance, the actual spell
Is a sorcery. So yeah, the spell.
See,
not so good.
Ryan might walk into that. We will see.
Yeah,
Spell Sky is not bad. Spell Sky actually means that your lands are safe from Beast Within.
Yes,
get a
that's true.
You get a 4/4,
You get a 3/3.
or you get an 0/4 that you can use to block some creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And in the off chance that it gets put in the graveyard, you can
You'll get it back.
Get it back. The only downside is that it does give your opponent a target for Demonic Dread.
Yes, that's true. So
Yes, patience. Yes, just patience. So I play a lot of Jun, so I just don't. I
just
play-
don't run things into things.
I play Liliana.
Mhm.
I make people discard and put my own creatures in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
I wait to play my ooze. I wait until I have enough mana to play my ooze and eat a bunch of things.
Right. Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So a good Living End player is gonna find ways to pressure you while you're setting up.
Mm.
Grixis can bring in Cage or Spellbomb. Living End brings in 4 Ingot Chewer. You're right.
Yeah, the Ingot Chewer vintage staple. Yeah. Ingot Chewer. Ingot Chewer.
Actually,
Yeah, is
Cage
going to be quite
doesn't
good. Yeah.
do anything because it exiles the creatures, and then they come into play from the exile zone. Yeah,
Graph
we should probably look
Digger's
up.
Cage.
We should probably look up the text on Living
text
End.
for Living End, right? Okay.
Yeah, it
That's-
says exile the creatures in the graveyard and exile the creatures in play or something like that.
So
Yeah,
each player exiles all creatures from his or her graveyard, then
then sacrifices all creatures it controls. Then puts all cards he or she exiled this way onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
So it's coming in from the
the exile. Yeah.
zone,
So
unfortunately. So yeah. Yeah.
Trump is now president. All right. So this has taken on its life of its own.
Yeah,
Which is
having a bit
good,
of a
which is good,
discussion. That's
yeah.
good. That's good. Yeah. So I do think Ingot Chewer not too required on the part of JP,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't really put your opponent on having Graph Digger's Cages against you because it's not going to work. Firstly, and secondly because he has Snapcasters in his deck.
Would you sideboard in? I think JP's deck runs the stock list runs one
does it-
Fairy Macabre.
Yeah,
one
yeah.
Fairy Macabre
is
in the sideboard.
for the Living End deck, but
Yeah.
I think Goblet Guy is asking what Grixis Control brought in. I think if you have any kind of Kalitas, it's good. I think you have any
okay.
kind of Nihil Spellbomb, it's decent.
Mm. Neo Spellbomb. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just need
basically anything
any
that says
kind of
graveyard. Well, everything that says graveyard except for
Yeah.
Graph Digger's Cage.
any kind of clock. You're later in the void, power to you. Well
Wow.
done. It still dies to Beast Within.
That's true.
Yeah. Q Ruru. JP won game 1.
Yeah.
He looked to be losing. I think he was in a very bad position. But then his opponent tapped out to cast Goblin
Dark Dwellers.
Dwellers, and then stuff went down from there.
Did
Yeah.
Ryan have anything in his hand at that point in time?
I think he had plenty of things. Yeah, he had a lot of.
So
I-
he had some options.
I think he was
needed
just
to
a
be
little.
bit
He just
patient.
wanted to get the value of having a 4/4 in play, getting to discard a card from his opponent's hand, and deal with the Simian Spirit Guy. You know how that
Uh-huh.
feeling is when you're winning the game and you just
Oh
want to.
man, so
close it out.
good.
I don't think that was actually a great play because discarding a card from your opponent's hand isn't that great against a deck that
That runs
takes advantage of
instant
his
speed,
graveyard.
right? Yeah.
or has excess lands. The only two things that you could be playing.
Right.
And I think
Graph Digger's Cage in every sideboard.
just
yeah.
not good to put a. I think now that Ryan knows, for example, that Demonic Dread requires a creature target, he's probably going to be less inclined to put
more
creatures
creatures
in
in the graveyard. Yeah, more creatures in play. Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
Austin, I agree. I have Graph Digger's Cage in my vintage sideboard. I do think, like everyone's kind of pointed out in the chat, that it's not effective because of the way the card is worded in this.
Then wouldn't I think JP's the way JP is gonna
So
approach
is
this
JP,
game?
he's reading Facebook messages.
Yeah.
Do you think his opponents are telling him, like his friends are telling him, oh, you're on.
Maybe
You're
that's the
stream, blah,
Twitch
blah,
chat,
blah.
right?
Is he reading Twitch chat?
Who knows?
I don't think I would willingly read Twitch chat if I wasn't.
Even if you're playing well, you don't want to be reading Twitch chat. Yeah. I ruined my comment. What's that? Kapan with irony. You missed it. You missed
Andrea
it.
or Capolo, are you gonna be at GP Portland
When is GP Portland, by the way?
next? Next weekend, not
Next
this coming,
weekend.
but next. Yeah. So we leave on Wednesday for
Oh
Portland.
man, that's game day.
it is game day.
Damn, man.
It's right after the Pro Tour.
Why would they
From
put
Exile
GP?
Boys, you're right.
Yep.
So yeah, JP probably confirming with his phone friends, giant spaghetti monster in the sky, that Graph Digger's Cage doesn't actually work against him. He doesn't have to bring in Ingot Chewer,
Yeah.
but he does need to bring in. He needs to be wary of any Nihil Spellbombs on his side.
Well, JP, I think the way he needs to play this game right now is just to you just cast his spells. Just cycle until you get enough lands and just start casting your spells. And then find the most opportune time to do your combo kill, because trying to get the combo out there against a control deck is extremely difficult.
Goblet Guy, thank you for actually arranging the dates in a way that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
I know there are more Americans watching this, but I want to please point out the problem with listing the month first. Yeah. I've had some issue. You're correct. Goblet Guy is day, month, year, which makes sense. Small to large.
Yeah, I don't understand why month,
like
day,
Pokemon,
and year.
Anybody who's played Pokemon knows that you go from Pikachu to Raichu, or you go from Charmander to
you go
Charmeleon to
War Turtle,
Charizard.
Squirtle, and then Blastoise.
Yeah,
right?
you don't go Charmander,
no, it's
Charmeleon and then Charizard. You don't go the other way, right? You don't go Raichu to Pikachu, for example.
Well, you
don't
could.
go
I think there was that episode where you could evolve backwards.
Yes.
Well, no, Raichu is slightly different.
Year month day is great for sorting, though. I agree, Austin.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
that's what we do for our accounts and stuff.
And all our videos are year month date, because easier for us to
month,
look through.
day, year, I can't get my head around.
How about month, year, day? That's even worse, right? Don't even start us on that.
Okay, so keepable hands on both sides. It's just a matter of whether or not Ryan wants to go for anything. He does have Tasigur, so he's gonna be able to put JP on the clock. But I think without too many ways to interact with your opponent's graveyard, all the Tasigurs in the world are not gonna do anything to Living End.
Yeah.
So he's gonna fetch and he's gonna Shadow
wow,
Down.
Shadow Down.
My god!
Oh man, 2 mana,
Wow,
destroy
look at
land.
that.
Ah,
Look at that.
feels bad.
Feels bad. Man. This is Singapore, yes.
Yep.
Chijio.
83 club
So yeah,
streak.
getting his opponent good with Shadow of Doubt. But unfortunately or fortunately for JP, unfortunately for Ryan, fortunately for JP, JP has a whole bunch of lands. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to turn that the Shadow of Doubt into any kind of meaningful advantage. I think he's going to be able to, if he has Thought Scour, play a Tasigur in this turn.
No, it's actually better than a Sinkhole, because a Sinkhole doesn't deal you damage. This one you have to take 1 point of damage and then get your land blown out.
And you get to draw a card.
Oh yeah, and you get to draw a card. So yeah, this
Sinkhole draw
V2.
Yeah. So yeah, instead choosing to go with Sulphur Falls, leaving mana open. JP now has to be a little bit wary. We might see a bunch of fetching on his main phase and stuff like that.
Oh man.
But
Even fetching on his main phase is going to be
fetching, in response to like a fetch land trigger, sacrifice fetch land from Ryan. JP going with tap land instead of cycling a street race and then choosing the pass. I think he's looking for his
third land
to be able to enable the rest of his deck. He certainly doesn't want to play his deck off Seaman Spirit Guides.
He's only got like 2 lands right now, I believe.
Yeah, he wants to be able to set up a position where he has he's gonna start a counter war and be able to pitch Seaman Spirit Guide and pay for
mana leaks and
Ricochet Trap.
Right, Ricochet Trap.
Hey Mergio, what happens if they cascade Living End in response to a Kitchen Finks Persist trigger?
Wow, that's an interesting question. So
I
actually,
think it comes back into play without the
yes,
token.
without the token, without the counter.
What is going to happen is that it's going to remove the Kitchen Finks from the graveyard with the Persist on the stack.
Yes,
and then the Kitchen Finks is going to come back into play as part of the Living End ability,
Instead
but it
of
won't remember its past life.
Yeah.
So much like that movie Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, he's just going to forget whatever he did before that he died and has to come back with a -1/-1 counter.
Jim Carrey died in the movie? No, right?
No, it doesn't die, obviously. Yeah.
Well,
no spoilers for anybody. Yeah.
I always fall asleep in the center portion. I know exactly what's happening, but I fall asleep in the center portion and wake up at the end.
No problem, Mergu. Sometimes we get lost in all the shenanigans that happen in this on this cast.
Mm-hmm.
And
Finks gets exiled from graveyard and returns to the battlefield with no memory of his previous self. The trigger just fizzles.
Reference it as Eternal Sunshine. You get extra props from me.
Man, I got to come to GP Portland.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
He's gonna remove the Seaman Spirit Guide to play Beast Within. I'm surprised.
Wow.
If his opponent tapped out, he could just play remove the Seaman Spirit Guide and play a Cascade spell to get the creature, get the battle.
To get all the other creatures in.
Yeah, but this might work out for him because he's gonna be able to play. Oh, but now it doesn't work out for him because he can't cast Demonic Dread because there's no.
No, there is. There's a 3/3.
There's a 3/3. So
Right,
if
he remember
if he
he
has it. He does have it. It's in the front of his hand.
does he not have a black? He doesn't have a black sauce.
He doesn't have a black sauce.
Right, that's why.
Okay, so that's why. So he needs violent outbursts.
Yeah, he needs violent
Yeah,
outbursts, which he might actually have.
Do we have new tokens? We have the same tokens as before.
Oh, the Emerald Clue tokens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys should bring
We'll bring
some.
more.
While you guys are away, I
We're
will.
gonna counter Familiar Mage and draw a card, and it
Ow.
looks like,
Okay.
barring any kind of colossal missteps from Ryan, this game is gonna be in
Yeah,
Ryan's favor.
he's beating every turn with a
Beating
3/3.
JP down, and JP his life is low because of various trips to the street wraith bar. One upside is that if JP gets up to 4 mana, is gonna be able to ricochet trap a lightning bolt to kill the 3/3.
Okay.
If
So if
Ryan
Ryan decides
to aim it at him to shorten the clock.
Mm.
But failing which, his lack of red mana is proving to be very, very costly. On
lack of black mana.
black mana. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That could have won him the game by now.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
pretty much. And as a result, you see Aquatex of Will stranded in JP's hand.
Oh yeah.
Unable to cycle. So
That's a black and blue, right?
That's a
The
black
and blue
yeah.
hybrid. Okay.
He wants new ones. I think, Andrea, we're gonna have t-shirts. We're gonna have, we made some t-shirts.
Okay.
So Grey Ogre Games t-shirts. Mogu, I think you better off pre-switting your own land. Or he's showing him the lightning bolt. I don't like this. Still had all these moments because it just gives information away.
That's true.
Is worth draw non-black gestures. Don't want to buy any cages. I think it's decent.
Ravenous Trap. Which one is Ravenous Trap? The one
It's,
that
if opponent put more than 3 cards into the graveyard this turn, you may play this for 7 cards or more than 7 cards in the graveyard this turn.
Ooh.
You may play this trap for free, and it's remove your opponent's graveyard from the game.
Okay.
3 or
That's
more cards.
nice.
Wow.
3 or
okay,
more
I'm
cards,
sorry.
yeah.
7 is something else. 3 or more cards.
Yeah, you can pay 0 and after that just
Yeah,
exile
but you know
all
what
cards from the
upside
library.
is you get to say you activated my trap card.
Oh
and then you can remove
man.
his graveyard from the game. T-shirt.
Yeah.
And a T-shirt.
T-shirt? No. I don't think you want a T-shirt at the
if you want a
convention hall.
T-shirt, I'll do it tomorrow morning and take a picture for you.
Can I get a
But
T-shirt, please?
Guys, for those of you who are watching, our web store is going to go live in
Oh,
sometime in October.
Nice. Okay,
So it's going
finally.
to coincide with GP Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
So you'll be able to come visit us there and also shop on the web store. It's managing a web store or a card store in general is hard. There's a lot of moving parts.
Managing a web store is even
and,
worse.
For what we do, we really want to have a product that we're proud of, that
Mm.
we're happy to show the public. And so we've spent quite a bit of money and quite a bit of time fine tuning exactly what it is that we're gonna put out there.
Oh, who's working on it?
We hired I think Andrea kind of knows the guy. Andrea knows a friend of ours who recommended us to a IT consulting company,
Okay.
who then hired a team of engineers to put it together.
Right.
Yes, Andrea,
Okay.
and that's our intention, is to have our friends wear their shirts, and hopefully, if they appear on coverage,
They'll
pay
be
them
like
some amount of money for I
Team
think
just Team Grey Ogre, yeah.
yeah. It's a cool shirt. It's just the logo,
With the
just the ogre.
is it the
eyes and the tooth?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would love the one where it, like
He's
leans.
leaning,
He's leaning on the.
I think that's on the
side.
staff T-shirt as well.
Oh, that's the logo we have here. That's the one.
We actually made a set of dice for
Oh, yes.
there's a
For-
bunch of stuff lined up for the WMCQ.
We
but
should save it
there's
as a
some,
surprise.
There's a rare dice. Let me just put it.
There's a rare dice.
There's a black
What?
and white version. There's a black and gold version.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we had the discussion in the
Yeah.
WhatsApp chat group. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Austin, we will.
Polyblend.
Polyblend is definitely on the table, and XL is definitely in our sizing chart. My only concern is the size for our American friends.
They are
Because
more.
I bought extra larges in America, and I bought extra larges here, and they don't mean the same thing.
Yeah,
And I'm a
that's
large
true.
guy. I agree with Chijio, and in response to Magyu, I think it was tier 1 when Eldrazi was at its peak.
What the living end? Yeah,
because
yeah.
It had such a great matchup against Eldrazi.
Now
but I
it's
think
okay. Yeah.
fallen a little bit off.
Yeah, especially with much more hate towards graveyard strategies.
With Dredge being in the format.
Yeah.
Americize me. That's a really good. That's funny. Yeah, Goblet Guy. If you are small in America, you're probably a medium here.
I have not met Andrea, so
You're
yeah.
not met Andrea. Oh,
No.
it's just awful against decks with Remand. Very, really frustrating.
Exactly. And since there's a lot of Grixis decks nowadays, there's a lot of Delver decks nowadays. Remand is back in the format.
Double cycle for JP is going to be able to sculpt his hand. He has the Simian Spirit Guide, so if he finds the Ricochet Trap, he's going to be able to
just cast a Ricochet Trap. Yeah.
Be able to play a Cascade spell, bring all his creatures back, Ricochet Trap. But he doesn't have Ricochet Trap. He does actually have a copy of Living End. He's going to cycle this turn, try to find Ricochet Trap. He finds instead Blackcleave Cliffs,
which
not
is
a great fourth land.
Yeah, damn it. Always,
And he's going to cycle again. Wow, okay. So going pretty deep this turn, looking for some kind of options.
Is that an land? No, that's
looking. Yeah, he's not in too much of a hurry. He can actually respond to the fetch and play, and that's what he's doing. He's gonna play the Violent Outburst now, because his opponent doesn't have Remand mana up or mana leak, and the worst that he can run into is Spell Pierce. So very heads up from JP. You can tell that he's a very seasoned player of this deck by being able to determine decision points. But choosing not to go with it, I think, might be a little loose on his part. I think that does signal to his opponent that he does indeed have a Violent Outburst. That, or it's some kind of like super next level double bluff.
You're trying to...
Yeah. And you see the Dispel in Ryan's hand, which actually does absolutely nothing except against Beast Within.
Was that Dispel?
There's a Dispel.
Okay, right. That's the...
Yeah, so JP thinking about his turn.
Right now doing it right now is not
sure, yeah. You can play
Mill, you can play Ravenous and Archive Trap. Oh yeah.
So cycling his monstrous Carabit, drawing for his turn, finding another Cascade spell. Interesting. I think JP why did JP not go for Violent Outburst at the end of his turn? Does he not have a Violent Outburst? JP gonna go with
Are we reading the hands wrong?
He doesn't have Violent Outburst. He does.
Yeah, he does.
It's a card that he's been flicking around.
Yep.
And so his hand is Double Spirit Guide, Living End, Violent Outburst, Demonic Dread, and Copperline Gorge. Should have went for it. The only way is forward. I agree. But if you're JP, the only way is still forward. So you just need to shrug it off. In the words of a famous poet, contemporary poet, you just have to shake it off. And keep going.
No, but he might.
Rubbing his tummy, looking at me meaningfully.
But he might just be wanting to get that Ricochet Trap,
sacrificed the land, sacrificed the fetch, so he was down to
like one mana. Yeah, exactly. So
and
he could
the
just
only
cast
thing he
it
could
at
have
that
played
point.
that was interactive would have
Spell
been
Pierce.
Spell Pierce,
if he did have it,
or a couple of surgical extractions on the creatures in the graveyard. Yeah. But so, failing which, so he's gonna go for the suspend, Living End here.
Okay, which it still makes sense.
Spells. No. So Andrea, his opponent had like a land and a fetch land. He cracked the fetch land
and then
went
left
down to one blue,
1 mana. Yeah,
and Dispel does nothing. Dispel doesn't counter the sorcery that comes off the cascade. It counters a Violent Outburst. Really good. I'm sure JP's okay with that. He doesn't get +1/+0 to his team, but that's okay.
But he could
JP
be just
setting up for the long game with the attempt to cast a series of spells over the course of my turn.
Yeah, and
I think he should have gone for it.
But he's in no hurry. Like Ryan is not.
He does have a bit of a hurry though, because if he goes for this suspend plan and his opponent has something like a damnation that came in off the sideboard,
then he could just cast it off of the.
So he's gonna need to force his opponent to play damnation on his turn, and then play Violent Outburst at the end of his turn.
Yeah. Okay.
To threaten the lethal. Maybe he's running invasive surgeries. That's actually relevant. Could be.
Oh wow! Do you play invasive surgeries in modern?
He's gonna he's at the end of his turn. Brian's trying to go to the cleanup phase, but JP stops him. He's gonna try and cycle some creatures.
That's about.
And discards the terminate. Maybe he's running invasive surgery. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So I take back what I said. I don't think it's 100% play the Violent Outburst there, but to me,
you could have just gone for it, right?
Yeah, like 99 games, I won't say 99, 9.5 out of 10 games, 95 out of 100 games, I would have gone for it.
And that's the thing, like you still have the other copy of
Chijo, I think he can. I just think that it doesn't play very well. His playing his dudes and going against a counter deck like that is not gonna go very well when your opponent has terminates still in the main deck, which
And the fact that he
Ryan
is
demonstrating.
yeah, and he's just dropping terminates left, right, and
Element
center.
performance.
So here
so
remand.
remand on the one that comes off the stack. So that's still okay.
Okay.
Because barring a second remand on the part of, unless he draws his third living end here. Did he draw his third living end?
No, that was a
Yeah, because
you can't be
only-
that
the
unlucky.
only concern here is that if the next living end gets counted, then JP doesn't have access to any more living ends in his deck and has to then suspend them and cast them. But JP choosing instead to go with Fulminator here, trying to grind his opponent out.
And
Actually taking
just casting
Chijio's,
creatures, okay.
suggestion.
Which is just cast creatures and just
Yeah.
swing it, yeah.
Fulminator Mage is one of the best creatures for this kind of plan because you get to get a activation out of it even if you somehow face a removal spell. But I don't really like Simon's Spirit Guide here. But he has
He could
another one in
save
his
it.
hand, so he has the he doesn't have does he have another one in his hand?
No, I don't think so.
It's
This
then
might
it
be the
opens
only
him
one.
up to not being able to play the surprise refraction surprise
supplies.
ricochet trap.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
if
you
he
can still
draws
have
a
a-
ricochet trap, he might just actually be looking for a ricochet trap here. you know.
Yeah, I don't think you need to because on the last maybe his bonus 2 remands. Yeah.
Hmm.
Jeskai Harbinger. So yeah, getting in for 4.
What's Jeskai Harbinger?
Nahiri and Nahiri.
Oh, right,
Jeskai,
okay, right.
Yeah.
Jeskai Nahiri.
Yeah.
Nahiri the Harbinger, right?
So yeah, Ryan's gonna be able to play a Snapcaster here if he wants, giving flashback to terminate. So he's gonna take 4 because I think he figures he's gonna be able to attack his opponent. Gonna put some pressure on his opponent. Yes.
Wow, okay.
So with this 5 mana Street Wraith, I think if you're Ryan, you're happy to see this. You're gonna fetch. You're gonna play Snapcaster. You're gonna
And you're
terminate
gonna-
the Street Wraith, and then you're gonna start beating your opponent down. And then your opponent is in the awkward position of having to
have to block.
block.
Strangely
Uh,
enough, right?
Yeah, strangely enough. That or Ryan has... I can't imagine he has too much more. Yeah, it's definitely Snapcaster. It's just a matter of what he wants to
Snap
snap back. And anytime you get to snap back a card that you previously thought was useless, I think it's a win for Snapcaster Mage.
Oh yeah.
He's not in any danger here, even if his opponent has double Simon's Spirit Guide.
Oh,
so
okay,
he's
no,
untapping
he's
his-
gone, yeah.
he's
He's
just
gone
gone
to
to
his
the
main phase
Kalitas.
and just
Yeah, okay,
Kalitas
so
it.
this is pretty good. But this has to signal on Ryan's part for JP that he has a way to interact with a living end. I think if I'm JP here, I'm tempted to sacrifice Fulminator Mage in response.
in response, yeah.
So he doesn't get a 2/2.
Exactly. I'll probably
Uh,
take out one of the lands.
Yeah, take it on the untapped land so that you
Yeah.
increase your chances of resolving a cascade spell next turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but he chooses not to.
Chooses
Okay.
not to, leaves the creature in play. Very interesting play on JP's part.
Okay, so second Fulminator Mage here.
I agree with you, Russ's.
Yeah, why did he not sack the mage? Yeah.
Maybe he has a plan, but I think if you're JP, you go for it this turn. Like,
Exactly. Well,
you definitely go for it. Like, there's no better time, and if you, but he has shown that he's been reluctant to go for it. He can attempt to double block the Kalitas next turn, but that's so bad against a single removal spell. Oh, he is passing.
Wow, okay.
Okay. So I see.
He
I
can
see-
just do
I
it
see
at
the
end step,
play.
right?
No, I think what he's gonna try and do is to present the double block, force removal from Ryan's hand, and then
And
play
at that point of
the
time,
violent
just
outburst
go-
in response.
Yep.
Which is decent.
Yeah, but then, Ryan just has like tons of mana available and
Yeah, this could be why he didn't sack the Fulminator. So, sometimes it's easy to criticize the plays that the players make, but if they have a plan and they go for it, that's the least we can. That's
all we can do is speculate,
Yeah,
right?
all we can do
Like,
is speculate. He
wha-
draws a
what's in
dispel,
their
which
hands.
is horrible in this scenario.
Why?
and-
Why?
Why? Yeah. But
Burning
yeah, maybe
flames.
this is gonna work out. Maybe Ryan attacks. JP goes to double block. Ryan goes Snapcaster to terminate, and then with the Snapcaster in play,
And then he
yeah.
fires off. Okay,
he's
so
gonna
that's why
fire
he's
Snapcaster
trying to do.
terminate,
Okay.
and he's gonna be able to. He's gonna. That's so odd. He's gonna target the Street Wraith.
Okay, so Street Rave gonna go down.
Okay.
All right.
Then he's gonna attack because then he has the 2/2. But I think this could all have been done at instant speed. But this is very
All right.
odd.
So yeah, if JP, that's the thing. If JP
So
blocks here,
if
this
JP
is
blocks, this makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it. I like this if JP blocks, but he's chumping.
Okay.
He's removing. Okay, so he's gonna go for the end step violent outburst instead.
Yeah. So he's trying to force
Yeah,
Ryan.
I
to-
think that
Nah.
the best way to force the most mana out of your opponent is to double block.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
cause him to tap all three.
Sacrifice
all
the
three
token to
sacrifice, yeah.
pump the Kalitas, and then he can go for his violent.
Or at
outburst.
least like tap some mana to destroy one of his creatures, right?
Wait, does he maybe only have 2 living ends in his deck? Did he maybe side out one? That's why he isn't playing this.
Oh
he's playing this
man,
way.
did he just like second level like
No, well, no,
next
he
level us?
kind of screwed himself, but yeah. So he's cycling monstrous Deadshot Minotaur, and then of his
Wow,
opponent's
okay,
turn.
and he just
So
all right.
I
No, but
think he's
does he have
looking
both
for-
living end in his hand?
He has 2 living ends in his hand.
Ouch. Okay.
Arming beat down a bus. Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder
Traitor
why
of
the commenters are
Springfield.
playing. Since they have a lot more knowledge about what's going on. Chijo, I used to play a lot, but now I'm too old, so I just sit in the booth and complain about people.
Yeah. I like this. I was complaining. Well, you guys can't see this. I wish we had a camera here. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Give the question.
Okay, so Cass was playing game 3.
Do you want to actually explain it on the?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than we get the question and then.
So while this game is going on, just a little bit interesting matchup that commonly happens.
Okay.
Abzan Company versus Eldrazi, right?
Alright.
So this is game 3. And Cass has an opening hand of, I believe it was 4 lands, a collected company. 4 lands collected company, Anafenza Kindry Spirit, Malira Silver Outcast, and
So that's 7 cards. 4
7
lands.
cards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
4
yeah,
lands
4
and
lands
those
and a
three.
fencer. Yeah.
Now, playing against
Okay.
Eldrazi, your Eldrazi player is on the play. Would you mull the hand? So this is an interesting one. Think about it and then see what the comments would be.
All right. Okay. So yeah, would you guys mount that hand? Hashtag keep it. Hashtag mull it. Keep it or ship it.
Old in Magic lands is like 35. Yeah, I'm old.
This is like one of those Japanese RPGs where the person is over 20 and they're like some washout this thing, and some
Yeah.
teenager in their 14 is carrying around
Older
a giant
guy,
sword.
I agree. I think he missed. Did he miss a trigger?
Yes, he might have. Yeah,
For what?
for one of the zombies. For one zombie.
For the Fulminant Mage.
Yes.
Unless
No,
the,
for the
unless the
Simian
dice,
Spirit guy. One of the Simian Spirit guys.
Unless the dice signifies, the number of zombies. Murderous Cut.
Nope. He did
Murderous
miss.
Cut
He
is
did miss
going
one.
to,
Yeah.
Take care of things. There's only one zombie dice.
Yep.
And guys, you think that we don't have tokens?
We do.
but
We do.
Right
man.
beyond, right above the screen,
There's
beyond
this giant black
beyond
box.
the live counter is this giant black box. And we all love giant black boxes.
Yeah, man.
All we all want is a giant black box.
bigger, blacker box.
But a giant black box full of tokens, and it says on the box.
No, it says
token-
I think it says Alara
Okay, I should-
on the
I need-
box.
I need to
We
change
need to go and change that.
Anyway,
But it says tokens.
yeah. So
Alright, JP
no
there,
outs
give
for JP.
Okay, so that
JP
means
drawing his hand. That means he has
only two
living
living
ends.
ends in the deck. So it's the only reason
Yeah,
why
yeah.
he's not going for
Yeah,
it.
because
right?
I don't think anyone who's as adept with his deck as JP is, knowing all the ins and outs. I don't think anyone who's in that position would be able to throw away so many opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Like just
Chijo, the sarcasm is obviously one of the services you provide.
All right. So we're going to
Hall
round
of Fame.
3
I think Yuya has a good shot.
this
Yeah.
year.
This year,
Yeah.
Yuya Watanabe.
Shota is already in the Hall of
yeah,
Fame, right?
Shota
Yeah.
was
So
last
yeah, Yuya's up for it. He's just you gotta give him props, man.
Well,
It's
thanks for watching. This is an interesting game. A game that we probably will be more enjoyable if we found out how many living ends he actually had in his deck.
Yeah. Let's go and find out from JP. When we get back from the break, we will let you know. But in the meantime, I'm going to put you on a short replay for one of our past weekend, which was the Legacy Challenge. So you get you guys interested in a little bit of Legacy. That was nice. Yeah. Anyway, Remember, you can join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and sometimes Thursdays for the streams. Tuesday we do standard. Wednesday we do modern, as you can see, and Thursdays we do what do we on Thursdays? Vintage playtest. And sometimes on the weekends we also have tournaments which we do stream. So if you want to join us, make sure you follow this channel and make sure you follow our Facebook page to find out all the all the tournaments that we're having and the tournaments that we're actually streaming. This weekend we won't have any, but I think next weekend might be interesting. Oh, next weekend is game day, so we might be streaming that. So yeah. Anyway, last but not least, if you don't listen to Power 9 Podcast, please pay our partners a little visit. They, every week they do their best to give you MTG lifestyle tips. This week, we're trying our best to impersonate some of the pros. So yeah, pro tip, don't keep 6 or 0 lander against manaless dredge on camera and throw the game. Yeah. I wonder who did that. Alright, we're going to go for a short break. We'll be right back, so don't go away.